Hello everyone, this is Jim Okerzinski with your week 6 lecture video. As I mentioned, it's time to take all of your information about your topic and assemble it in a reader-friendly format. In looking at the unit in week 6, it'll be the first lecture on chapter 4. In week 7, I'll touch on chapter 4 and probably chapter 5 in that lecture video and spare you a lecture video in week 8, the last week of the course. One thing I want to point out in the week 6 weekly module is the first draft instructions. Please read these carefully. I have the 10 conditions here, the 10 points of how to put together the first draft. Hopefully the planned activity in dialogue with Dave for discussion board number 9, and also the discussion board number 10, the writing the introductions or the openings, or as Ballinger refers to them, the way in, will help you in chapter 4 information to put together a reader-friendly draft. One word of warning, I am not looking for a glorified annotated bibliography. I'm looking for an essay first draft. So please be aware of that, all right? Understand you have to use paragraph structure, topic sentences, introduce sources, take a look at such information as the quote hamburger, or some of the information in using and citing sources in the book. It's important to understand how that draft comes together, all right? So one thing I do want to touch on for the chapter 4 in getting to the draft, I think the key idea here for chapter 4, especially the beginning of chapter 4, and then it kind of moves into more individualized issues, is how do you organize the research essay draft, right? Traditionally, we always want to make an argument. That means in the opening of your draft, you have a thesis, something you perhaps want to argue about. Straightforward argumentation here, a couple of different ways you can organize it. Could be problem, solution, cause, effect. Obviously, the way to put together the argument is to state your claim in the way of a thesis statement, and then present your research as evidence to support that claim. On the other hand, we have the exploratory essay that Ballinger talks about, is where you may not be ready to make a judgment about your topic. You've assembled your source information. You are still trying to decide which way your particular topic would go, if in fact you want to create some sort of an argument. The exploratory essay format is where you really use the research question to shape your essay draft, your first draft. You're just exploring, you're presenting all of your information, and then perhaps somewhere down at the end of the line, toward the end of your particular draft, you may then be able to come to some sort of a claim or conclusion. In older editions of the Curious Researcher, Ballinger used to call this a delayed thesis. So there's a couple of different ways to present your information. Obviously, once again, returning to the idea of a draft and an essay draft, presenting the information or exploratory is not a glorified annotated bibliography. You want to make sure that you're able to extract the information, synthesize the information into, where you have your sources talking to each other and trying to arrive, or I should say, trying to have the reader, in many ways, take the reader along on your journey is what I'm trying to say here, right? So, and the textbook is very important here. It's, what do I know is an important section. The dialogue with Dave, which is discussion board 9, will take you through some questions to help you format your thinking about your particular topic. Okay. He also has this one idea of say one thing, right? So you want to make sure that you also read through the organizing the draft here and how to go about that structure. excuse me, talks about narrative logic as an interesting read here and how to put together your essay draft, something along the lines that depends upon your experience with the topic, and then the argumentative logic, which is pretty straightforward, right? So if you have any questions or issues on the first draft, please reach out, send me an email. Good luck.